Children who get off to a poor start in reading rarely catch up. We wait, they fail, but it does not have to be this way. As educators, we want what is best for all children. The Learning Center provides intensive small group instruction on a daily basis. Can you tell which of these students is a special education student? In the Learning Center model developed by East Whittier City School District, all students learn in the least restrictive environment, and no child is left behind. 5 years ago, the East Whittier City School District began designing learning centers at each elementary school to deliver special education services to Resource Specialist Program, RSP, and Special Day Class, SDC students. Learning centers allow for earlier and more direct academic intervention for all students in need. They allow staff to create individualized programs for any student, not just for students who've been identified as qualifying for special education. East Whittier has been able to get away from the old idea that special education refers to a particular place. Parents are more comfortable keeping their children at their designated home school with their neighborhood friends and siblings.
The Learning Center has been a tremendous asset for our identified special education students, especially the LHSDC students. They no longer see themselves as different, isolated. They interact with general ed students. They start in the general ed classroom every morning from the very beginning. At our school, students constantly move from class to class for various flexible groupings depending on program and depending on ability. So for them to work with the teachers in the Learning Center, it does not make them feel special or isolated. There are general education at-risk students or intervention students who also join them in the Learning Center for specific skills instruction that they need. And so for our special ed kids, especially the LHSDC kids, they don't see themselves as any different. They don't even know their special education, and no one else does.
The program requires that 2 special education teachers work together as a team to provide instruction and remediation services to all identified RSP and SDC students. These students attend their home school to receive these services. Students are included in the regular education program and receive Learning Center and paraeducator support as determined by their IEPs or individual needs. Students in the Basic Skills program or other severely handicapped programs continue to be served in self-contained classes in their current placements. Learning Center staffing includes a minimum of 60 hours of paraeducator support to serve approximately 60 students each week. Included in the number of students are general education students who are provided short-term instructional interventions lasting several weeks to several months. In addition, each Learning Center is staffed with a speech and language pathologist, counselor, school psychologist, and inclusion support team.
Okay, now we have our magic word. So let's see who can figure out the magic word first. Does anybody know the magic word? Raise your hands if you know.
Biology?
You have no,
Oh, wait.
You're close though. Anybody figure it out? Mrs. Pasick figured it out, by the way.
What?
Okay, Lewis, what is the magic word?
Biography?
Very good.
I was the principal at Scott Avenue School 4 years ago when the Learning Center started there. And we developed it to meet the needs at our site. We did not have special day class students on our campus before. We had sent them off to another site. So we brought our students back, and we had to make changes within our staff to accommodate those students. For the kids coming back, it was a little scary. Their parents were scared. But within a week, everyone was thrilled. We got very positive feedback, including letters to the superintendent and the board from those parents about how appreciative they were and the difference it made for their children to be on their home site and to be a part of the general ed classrooms. So that it really took off the labels from the students. And the learning centers have really allowed flexibility on the campus to meet the needs of more children that don't qualify.
Proposed guidelines. A team leader for the Learning Center is identified by the principal. Responsibilities are assigned to specific staff, contacting outside agencies, scheduling, ensuring equitable caseloads, monitoring paperwork. Caseloads. 38 identified special education students, 28 RSP, and 10 SDC. 20 intervention students. Total caseload of 58 students. In addition to regular staff meetings, Learning Center staff attend regular special education coordination meetings.
One of the important things to take into consideration if you use the model that we're using is to make sure that there is ample time for the general ed teacher to collaborate with the Learning Center teacher regarding the goals and objectives and learning areas that the students need. There's a high level of coordination of instruction so that students receive in the Learning Center the same instruction that the general education classroom students are receiving in the classroom, so that math occurs during math time, word study occurs and word study is given in the Learning Center, so that the special education student or the Learning Center student, general education intervention student, are not missing core instruction.
All special education students belong to the school, start the day in a general education classroom, and are subjected to less labeling by peers, as they are not the only ones matriculating through the Learning Center. Students are assisted in the Learning Center model as soon as problems are noted. There is no need to wait for the gap between measured IQ and achievement to widen enough for the student to qualify as learning handicapped. In the current model, which requires a severe discrepancy before remediation is provided, students experience repeated failure as well as significant damage to their self-esteem. Students' time in the Learning Center is based on need, and they are grouped according to the level of intervention needed. Their increased daily small group instruction results in rapid academic progress. Non-identified students benefit from instructional intervention in the Learning Center and do not require special education eligibility assessment. Schools have experienced a reduction in numbers of students qualifying for special education and see more movement of students to less intensive special education programs or return to general education.
Okay, yet Eskimos are able to build homes and find food which allows them to live in this harsh climate. We're taking this one paragraph, we're going to make it into one sentence. Anybody come up with a sentence?
Not me.
As one of the Learning Center teachers for the past 4 years, we've watched our Learning Center program evolve and grow into a program that we're very proud of, and that the general ed teachers are very supportive of, as well as the parents. When the students came back last year from being bused to other schools, the special day class students, the parents were a little apprehensive about having their students come back away from the special day classes. And it was just a very short time that first year after we started the program 4 years ago that the parents were very happy. They were happy with the way their children were involved in the regular classroom as well as in the Learning Center with other students, intervention students, as well as RSP students. And they're very happy to see the progress their students made.
When a child comes to me and asks me a question, that tells me that child's ready to learn. And so I need to fill him up. And in a classroom, I need to stay along with the teacher in the curriculum. Over here, I'm in a pull-out program to where I can go right to what that child wants. And it is amazing how far we can stretch. When we took that whole labeling thing away, it made them feel better. It made them feel more confident. And when they have the confidence, they can learn.
With 2 special education teachers working together to share instruction for all students receiving services in the Learning Center, workloads are more equitable. Working collaboratively, the Learning Center teachers group SDC, RSP, and general education students by instructional need instead of classification. If one teacher leaves the school, the other Learning Center teacher serves as a mentor and support to new staff.
The collaboration between the special ed teachers and the general ed teachers has greatly improved. Mostly it's improved in frequency. We talk very frequently, either in person or over the phone, email, about the students. It also has helped in the fact that there's more people at the school who know the child well in a lot of detail, so it's easy to zone in right away on areas where the student needs extra help, and it's kind of like a two minds are better than one situation. My students who come back to the classroom after being in the Learning Center have really improved their ability to work in groups. We do a lot of cooperative learning, GLAD type strategies in the classroom, and the kids from the Learning Center are used to working in small groups of 4 or 5 students, and they are able to jump right in. They know their part. I think one of the best things about the new Learning Center model is that the kids who come to Learning Center have been very successful in their performance on tests in the classroom because they've gotten the individual help they need for extra time studying, extra flashcards, extra support, whether it be one-on-one or in small group setting. It's been really helpful.
What I've seen district-wide is that our teachers who have bought into this Learning Center model are so much happier in the sense that they can do things that they were somewhat restricted in doing before. They can teach, they can expand the type of groups that they're working with. They're happy to take kids who are at risk to ensure that they don't qualify for the program some point down the line. It seems to work more. There's a lot more collaboration between special education and general education on our campuses, because when you have a learning center model like this, it involves the entire school, not just special ed staff. The isolation piece of special ed in the back 40 is no longer there. Our kids, when you walk into our campus, you don't know which kids are Learning Center kids because all kids line up with their general ed peers. They start their day in the general ed program, and you've got kids, either special ed kids or at-risk kids, moving all day long. So it's just a more cohesive, cooperative kind of atmosphere, and I think that's been real positive for us.
The reason why I like the Learning Center is because they teach us how to do more things and all.
The reason why I like the Learning Center is because we have a whole lot of centers and a whole lot of teachers.
Okay. What do you like about it, Robert? Because the store has some goods for fake money.
What do you like about it, Jarrett?
I like the Learning Center because it doesn't degrade us like most classes. We're able to learn at our own pace. It's easier for most of us to learn in here.
What do you like about the Learning Center?
I like the store at the end of the month.
What do you like?
I like it all.
The